Well, hello and welcome to another inky morning with me, Kieron Seamons, in my inky world where we have a blank sheet of paper, no sketches, no nothing, no plan, and I throw down some ink and we see where it takes us. So if you're in the mood to do some inky drawings with me, get your pen, get your paper, and let's get into some free thinking drawing. Just sketching, just drawing things out, just relaxing. So if you're in the mood for some of that, let's do some drawing. Well, hello and welcome back. We're going to get into some inky drawings, and I don't know whether to start with a brush or a nib today. Maybe I'll start with a brush. Sometimes it gives me a little bit of confidence just to kind of ooh, okay. Right, well, let's see if I can do that again. Maybe I could make it into some kind of glasses of some sort. Oh, well, there we go. The first one kind of threw me a little bit. But usually when I throw something down, usually there's quite a big kind of splash like that. You know, usually it's quite a big dominant reaction almost. It's kind of like such a it's such a big splash that it kind of takes control. So I'm just trying to see that first one, and the only thing I could think of was like my glasses. I was like, completely threw me off. Right. Well, there we are, and that's the whole point. Drawing something that, in this case, is kind of like I'm kind of throwing down some ink, but you could do it as a scribble, or you could do it as a wash of colour, maybe. Wait for it to dry and then kind of start inking on. What do you see? What do you feel? That type of thing. Right, so. And this has come up has kind of given me that feeling of a pair of glasses. Now, is it the pair of glasses from a rock star, or is it a pair of glasses from some educated person? Something. I always go with a feeling, and something is saying to pull it out so that everything is not so big. I don't want it to. Oh, it's very thin, isn't it? Now, as I draw, I have signals from my two brains that are saying, do this, do that, do this. And the way that this is talking to me now is to pull some kind of shape so that the glasses are quite big, and that will dictate a very big, fat, chunky type of character, which is what I don't want. And in a way of explaining that is like trying to do things in contrast. And sometimes the best way of doing that is to really kind of let your mind kind of do things in opposites. Now, if that's telling me to do something very thick and wide and heavy, then the way to kind of create something inspiring for your mind, something to activate all those little juices, activate all those little sparks of excitement, is to do something opposite. So here what I've done is I've done something completely opposite of what. There's something really interesting about that. What about, let's just put that ink on the side. What about if I was to put some lips on the end of that? Some nice big red juicy lips. Now what this is doing is that this is giving my mind something to think about, something to suggest to it some other shapes. And that is something that I'm always trying to get away from, those repetitions that come in your brain, you know. Sometimes you will do something and your brain will say, oh yeah, when you do that, you always put this after, and that's what I don't want. So I'm getting this feeling here of some long, thin kind of character with very big kind of lips. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now already, what that's doing is that's sending all these signals to my brain. It is sending these messages of like, oh my God, what has he done now? You know, it's like, what has he done? What can we do now? What? Now, it's not anything that I've done before. It's not any shape that my brain recognizes. And what it does is it starts to make you think. And that is what the object of this whole task of putting down ink, putting it down in a way that makes your mind register in a way of thinking. And the worst thing to do is when you pick up your sketchbook or pick up a piece of paper is to draw the same old shapes. And we all do it. We all draw that character that we like. We all draw that long, skinny, elegant man with a big chin and a pointy nose. And we go, yeah, I love him, I love him. And you draw him again and again and again and again. You get comfortable by drawing that character. You can draw that character from the back, from the front. You can draw him jumping in the air and you get comfortable. And once you get comfortable, you lose your inspiration. You lose that feeling. You lose all that drive. And I often say to my kind of students that, you know, if you pick up your sketchbook and you start drawing circles, stop. Start drawing rectangles. If every time you pick it up, you draw rectangles, pick it up and draw circles. Draw something different. If every time you start with a nose, start with the ears, start with the glasses. You know, if you think the character is going to be thick and fat, do it skinny and see where it takes you. And I love that way of kind of letting the drawing kind of dictate, you know. Stop listening always to your first brain. Your first brain's always very careful, very select, very, very timid. Listen to that wild side a little bit. Listen to that second brain that just goes, man, let's throw some ink down there. What happens if we do this? What happens if we do that? That's the voice you want to listen to. Listen to that second brain that's pulling you away. And it will guide you in a way of feeling good about your creativity. Feeling good about all those decisions that you didn't do before. It'll start to make you think about doing things by chance. Now I've got a long ear there and I have no idea what's going to happen on the top. But already it's starting to work in a shape that is interesting. And again, if you just want to shade, do it. Just follow that voice. That's kind of nice. No, I like the. I don't want to get it on my jumper, so I'm going to be a little bit careful here. I'm kind of thinking that maybe there's a hat of some sort there. And on the brim of that hat, maybe I'm going to have some flowers. That almost kind of gives a feeling almost like a horse or something, the way that. And I'm desperately waiting for those lips to dry so that I can start to work into what else I'm going to do with it. Lovely. Just trying to build up some kind of hat structure there. And I love the idea of this hat having flowers tucked into the brim of it. A very large bird just walked past. I thought it was a penguin, but I'm sure. I know it's cold, but it's not that cold. Wouldn't that be fun if it was a penguin? Oh, was it? Just shading in a little bit there to give it the brim of the hat. That's nice. That has a really nice kind of feeling to it. Almost, I can see a horse of some sorts in there. But what are we going to do? Are we going to make it into a horse? I almost feel like it's some kind of an elegant version of like a rock star or something. And I love the way the lips have come up. Let's get in there and try and draw some nice. That's nice, giving it a nice kind of, a nice big set of teeth. Lovely. Give it a slight gap in the front teeth. I always kind of see that some of the elegant women always seem to have that, don't they? The kind of the rich, elegant women always have that kind of gap in their teeth, almost like where they would put their cigarette or something, you know. Right. So, what are we going to do with the body? Are we going to give it some hooves? Are we going to make it into a horse? No, I need to do that other ear just to kind of balance it off a little bit there. I'm in a very, very kind of shady mood today. I don't understand. Not as in a shady mood, as in I'm a shady person. But like I'm shading a lot of things in today. I'm not quite sure why, but... Alright, let's try and get in there and do some kind of... I've got this feeling that he should have some kind of collar of some sort, some kind of diamond collar. Put all the diamonds in there. Very nice. It's always nice to have that start, and the when you start off with something that's very different, as we've just done, it gives you that kind of confidence almost that everything's going to be okay. And obviously at this point we still don't know if we're going to be okay. I'm just trying to see where that will take me. Maybe I need another. Maybe we can come in with something. There. Lovely. There's something nice about the dropping in an ink on a brush. Sometimes the brush just kind of gives it that beautiful kind of fresh feeling about it. I'm kind of feeling like some kind of pearl bracelet of some sorts. Beautiful. There's something very, 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 very nice and very relaxing about drawing in ink. I've been drawing in ink for a few years now, and it's always very, 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 very beautiful, really relaxing way of doing things. Oh, I've done that. Should really have done. I kind of should have done something in the middle there. Is that wet? Is that wet? Let's see if I can just steal that, otherwise I'm going to have a very thick arm. And I don't really want to have it too thick. Thick in the way that I can't really control. And that is much better. That gives me a nice kind of hoof. Very interesting character today. Very interesting in the fact that it's kind of like a very kind of elegant horse, almost a horse lady with some kind of oh, what's wrong? I've done it again. Painted right through my there we go. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Sometimes thinking too much. And I find actually the more that I've got things, I've started to write a book, and I've got a lot of things running around in my brain, and my first brain is saying this and my second brain's talking about something completely different. It gets really confusing sometimes. You're kind of thinking about lots of different subjects. and I've started to write another book. And I do find that when I write, it really takes over my whole being. It's like, when I go to the toilet, I'm thinking about that book. When I go to have dinner, I'm thinking about that book. When I go to sleep, I'm waking up and thinking about that book. You know, and it's a very, 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 very. I mean, obviously it's a very good thing, but at the same time, it's very. I don't know what the right word is. It just overtakes my whole life. You know, it really does kind of fill my whole head with constant dialogue. And it is a dialogue. It is a dialogue of what is this character going to do if he meets that character? Oh my God, yeah. Well, I better think about that. You know? And it's, I'll be sitting there and I'll be having dinner and I'll be thinking, oh, here's a good idea. If Jimmy meets Frankie, that would be great because then when they meet Sally later on, it is quite disturbing almost how absorbed you can get with this this obsession almost of your book and all the ins and outs and if who meets who and this should happen here and this should happen there and it has been a few very bad sleepless nights already. But it's part of my life. I'm afraid it's a part of the way of being an artist. It's kind of like being alert, being awake, being active, mentally active, constantly. I almost kind of feel like she kind of needs a dress of some sort, It's almost like begging to have some kind of summer dress almost. Just to kind of to fit on with the summery hat and the luscious lips. How beautiful is that? Bringing that down. Getting those pleats in the dress. You can imagine that she's out to, she wouldn't be out to a horse race, would she? If she's the horse, she'd probably be out to a human race. Or she's been out to watch the mice run or something like that, Let's get a nice kind of pattern on there. Of course, let's do some flowers just to match up. What is going on with this nib? A nice kind of flowery dress just to match up with her hat, with all the flowers that are in her hat at the moment. That's a very, very bizarre drawing. Oh my God. Horse lady. Lady horse. Lady horse, I like that. And what it does is it fills your brain with these these kind of like a little electric shocks of confidence, and it means like I'm quite happy with this messy, exciting drawing, and I could quite easily go in and just get another piece of paper and draw something else, you know. Just sit there and wildly draw, because it's given me this kind of confidence almost of what we have drawn now. And that's a very, very, very beautiful thing. It's the power of the sketchbook. The sketchbook is something that it builds your little gems of knowledge, your little gems of confidence. And that all comes from scribbling in your sketchbook, using pens that you've never used before, on textured paper maybe, or you know, just constantly making variations of what you're doing. Now I must have some yellow ink somewhere. I'm just feeling that the sunglasses need to be like yellow, just to match up the power of the red on the lips. Isn't that a beautiful feeling? Oh, I kind of feel like I should darken that up. Yeah. Lovely. My nib's got a little bit bent out of shape. And it's starting to drag a little bit, and that happens. If you get too much pressure down on your nib, it starts to lose shape a little bit. But that's fine. And that is my name, Kieron. And I love to write my name in the messiest way possible. It's really lovely. It's got some vibrancy to it. I love that. And let's see if I've got a nice colour there that I can add into. That's a yellow, but it's a permanent ink. What have I got here? What have I got? What have I got? What have I got? I've got a red. I've got a green. Green? Green, 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 red, red, red. Red, purple. What does that say? There must be a nice yellow here with all these pots. And I got into a very strange habit at one time of labeling all my colours numbers. I don't know what I was thinking, but I kind of got to this thing of like maybe I could it seems to be a yellow. Wonder if I can. Let's just do a little test on that. Nope, it's not. So like, why does it? I've never. That's kind of like an orange colour that I've just painted, and it's very, very strange. Winsor Newton, very, very strange with their colours. I'll use an acrylic. The acrylics are nice because I do find that I probably shouldn't really admit this, but I do find that the acrylics work great with your finger, and I do find that they're kind of really beautiful colors when you kind of add your finger to it. I find it just seems to almost like when you were a kid and you do all that finger painting, you know, and it brings a lot of kind of vibrancy to it almost. It's like just comes alive when you, which I can't, I feel like if I do that with regular, like Winsor & Newton or something, like I feel like it dirties the ink. Whereas here I feel like with the acrylic, I feel like it kind of adds a bit of a sparkle to it. Lovely. I just need a little. A bit of highlight on the lips, and that is our drawing today. Just going to do a quick framing of it. I'd love to get in there and do some color on that, but I think it's probably a bit too wet still. Nice to feel the kind of vibrancy of the ink. I feel it's always very kind of alive almost, you know. And I love the way that the ink really does seem to give this lovely border to the drawings. I mean, I've been doing it for a while now, and I kind of feel sometimes like the drawings need it. It's like I feel like if I don't frame them, I kind of feel, oh, you should have framed that one, you didn't, you know. And that is Lady Horse in all her beauty. How fantastic is that? And there you can start to see some of the colours coming through with the. Let's just suck that up. I don't want it to run. Lovely. So there we have today's drawing. I wonder if I got a grey. Have I got some grey there? What is that? Is that going to be grey? Oh, that might be nice. A little touch of grey there for the shoe. Just to kind of separate it a little bit, make it stand out. Lovely, really lovely. I'm very happy with that. Very, very happy with that. And that is today's drawing, Lady Horse. Lady Horse and her luscious red lips. So there you are. There's today's drawing. It's a vibrant, expressive, beautiful Lady Horse with her cherry red lips, off to the races, whatever kind of races. You can tell me what kind of races. What kind of animal races is she off to see? She's all dressed up for it. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you for sharing your time with me. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you'd like to donate to the channel and keep the channel moving, please do. Very, 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 very appreciate every single one of you. And now I will leave you to think about Lady Horse and her adventures, and I would love to hear from you. If you've got anything that you want to talk about, anything you want to chat about, arty anythings, you want to talk about the drawing, you want to tell me something about Lady Horse, send me a comment and I'll reply. So, I will see you all again very, very, very soon on the channel. Until then, keep drawing. Okay? Bye-bye.